The Cass London Symposium is a really exciting week. It represents our opportunity to show our students how to get inside London.
It's been really exciting coming into the London Symposium and hearing all of the different options that we've got and getting this unique opportunity to meet those people that run the major companies that are here.
Cass is one of the leading business schools in the world, obviously one of the preeminent business schools in London, so it's a fantastic opportunity to come and talk to all the student talent here.
I looked at universities all around the world. I wanted to focus on the UK, and Cass is, to me, the best and most vocational university in London, in the square mile of the city, so it's just a fantastic location to be. Great teaching and a great international class.
Throughout the course of the week, as they go to see many different areas and many different people, that holistic view of London, I think, really shines through in a way that you can't get in a purely academic setting.
We've just got talks from so many different speakers in different industries. There's too much to put kind of a finger on one different thing I'm looking forward to.
So we've clearly got lots of opportunities for our students to get out and about this week. We've got some great masterclasses that are going to take place in our executive MBA suite further down towards St Paul's, but also into some organisations that don't open their doors very often.
So we've just had the pleasure of speaking with and hearing from Sir Alan Yarrow, certainly a wonderful advocate for everybody and everything that we do here in the City of London, and a real pleasure to hear from him talking about the relationships that he's had with international leaders both home and abroad.
Promoting London, promoting financial service sector for the whole country is a real privilege. Nothing I like more than selling a good product, and by God we got it here. And the reality is that's what we need to do. We need to get out there, pound the pavement and sell what we've got. We're far too British, and we've got to be much punchier.
My favourite part has been the John Lewis workshop that we've just done. It's very informative. It's interesting to see the inside workings of retail industry, the different strategic considerations in an evolving market and how they've dealt with that.
For me, it gets the ability to spread the word to the students in the MBA around how great John Lewis is and what a fantastic place it is to work. I think it's also really important that students get to see another way of doing business, and for John Lewis and the partnership, we do business like no one else, and it doesn't have to be the same way everyone else does it.
We are seeking in the symposium to create a really big splash, and that means engaging with the perspectives of other business schools who also want to learn about what goes on in London.
On day one, we won the pitch for London's partner. It was focused on becoming James Bond for a day. It was one of the most wonderful experiences that I had in Cass Symposium.
So today we are here at the Welcome Collection on the second day of the symposium.
This morning was about luxury brands, and really to be a luxury brand you need to be exclusive. The last line Markus left us with was integrity is absolute.
My lecture really was on value systems and exploring the world through the lens of luxury. And in terms of what they can take from it is probably the non-rational view of how powerful value systems can help create culture and drive businesses of the future.
This afternoon we've come to the East London Liquor Company. We've met with Simon, the owner, who's talked about the history of the company. This visit's all about entrepreneurship. It's taught us how a small company can really stand out and start making a name for themselves in an otherwise quite crowded market.
I hope they got a little sense of the idea behind what we've done, the wish to drive and to set up something which is commercially ethical, and also the fun and the joy of making something in London.
Exploring different companies like this is a great way of finding and seeing other companies which you might not naturally think of. It's great to really kind of get out there and see different parts of the city, get away from the classroom and start learning more about how all we've learned kind of relates really in industry.
So it's day 3 today at the London Symposium. We're at the Science Museum in South Kensington, and we've had great chats today from Catch London, PwC, TSB and Starling.
I think it was really important to have a good discussion around trust and the trust agenda in a really practical way. You felt as though they all really got the point, which is that if you're going to be a successful business leader, you'd better know what your values are and the values of the organisation.
I think that in today's world where we hear about innovation, change, difference, the case of TSB, taking a principle that's 200 years old and revamping it, how it contrasts with Starling, a brand new entrepreneurship bank, sets up the scene for potential discussions.
I was talking about innovation, I was talking about customers and how we are building a different type of bank, using new technologies and new approaches to building us. I think the link with us and Cass is that we meet young, bright, intelligent, but also thought-provoking people who are going to challenge us on our thinking, and also that we can test and learn what we're thinking with some fantastic people.
I'm just outside a zenith of the media. I was able to understand how the world has been changing in the last couple of years, and also how much potential fintech has in the next maybe 5-10 years. Impact will change the whole world, I think.
I think most people in business haven't really had the opportunity to examine how digital transformation works and also to see how fintech works.
Today is day 4. The first talk was by Kate Phillip, a very inspiring speaker.
We have a number of interesting speakers. We have one explorer who's come in to speak with us this morning. We have the first female British astronaut speaking with us later in the morning. So it's a very interesting lineup of women in business who are great role models for everybody.
The conversation today was really just about leadership, but her perspective was on leading yourself first and understanding who you are first in order to then be able to take those aspects of how you treat yourself and how you trust yourself and then taking those out to how you lead the people around you.
I felt that the 2 women who spoke this morning really hit home on how to be authentic.
My intent is that they can get a better understanding from what's been a very personal insight, speaking from my own experiences, of how to identify their own resources to make them more resilient, physically, mentally, emotionally, to reframe challenges as opportunities to kind of test and build that resilience.
I'm talking to the guys about what it means to lead people in a disrupted world and how we need to fundamentally change our understanding of what leadership actually means and to try and do things in very different ways.
So I was talking about the good, the bad and the ugly of starting up new businesses, the sort of reality, the nitty-gritty of deciding to leave corporate life and start with a blank sheet of paper and try and make something happen. I would hope that the students took that startup life is incredibly rewarding, incredibly challenging, but there's just nothing like it.
The favorite part, there's a lot of them, but if I had to pick up one, that should be the astronaut lecture from Dr. Helen Sherman.
For me, it's been one of the best days out of the 4 that we've had. We had such an inspiring women giving the talk. I think I've come out feeling really motivated, really inspired, and looking forward to the future with more purpose. So now we've come to the end of day 4. We're looking forward to tonight. We're going to be doing lots of networking. We're going to let our hair down and really enjoy the finale to this fantastic symposium.
Today was the last day, an interesting day culminating in a talk by an explorer, the ultimate explorer in my view, an astronaut, someone who's been into space, who talked through all the incredible challenges, preparation. It really inspired our students to think what they can do in their careers.
Really, tonight is the grand finale. Tonight's a chance to celebrate after a week that has absolutely been vibrant and enjoyable, but has also been a lot of hard work.
We've seen CEOs, we've seen MDs, we've seen the Lord Mayor, but in that process we've been able, for me coming from South Africa, to see the city because it's not in one place.
Cass MBA for me means, enlightenment, broadening of perspectives.
It's always a pleasure to come. It's a very hungry, very savvy, very sophisticated audience.
It's really a perfect example of what I think we do best at Cass, which is that blending of theory and practice, of academic and industry.
One of the things we really celebrate here at Cass Business School is the idea that an MBA is about pushing boundaries.
I'd say the key takeaway was there's no limit to achieving yourself. It's you only yourself set the limit. The higher you aim, the higher you can reach.
What I'm hoping is that we've actually got a whole bunch of people here who are open to doing things differently, and of course they're going to be the leaders of our companies of the future.